I'm not totally versed on this subject. However,
Sure.
based on what I've seen, the countries of the world that have more female leaders are the people in those countries are happier and more well off than the women or just the people in like the US right now, for example.
How so?
They get health care. They
Oh,
get
free healthcare.
free health care, free just care in general. Women get better maternity leave. Everyone is saying that they're happier in those countries. Like, I'm pretty sure Denmark or somewhere just got voted like happiest place on earth for 2025. And it's a place run by women.
And you're saying, like, for example, if we look at Norway, I believe is a country of, 4 or 5 million? Something around that. You're saying because there's more female leadership in some of these Scandinavian countries that because simply by virtue of that, that's why these countries enjoy like more prosperity or are better.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't
do
think
believe
like,
that.
for example, with Norway, it might have to do with their like abundance of natural resources and they're
But you
basically...
don't think that's because the women who rule that country and who help that country have protected those? Donald Trump has taken away so many of our natural resources already, and people are already unhappy about that.
Well, I can't speak specifically my understanding is this, as it relates to Norway's natural resources, the sort of prosperity that has granted its citizenry has been in place for many, many decades.
Very good for
I'm
that.
assuming prior to even the increasing representation of women in its government body.
Okay.
So I'm not sure that has the prosperity of Norway, for example, has anything to do with like current day, perhaps increased representation of women in government.
However, if you look at the countries that have had increases in women governments and you look at the ones who have had decrease and who have had predominantly men, you can see a vast difference in the amount of environmental protectionism acts and other things that have to do with women's health, child health, anything to do with like the goodness of the people. I think, and although again, I'm not saying that men are a problem, because I know lots of great men. It's just when countries rely on only men for power, I think that's dangerous. And in a world where feminism is seen as a bad thing because feminism means only women, I'm going to stick up for only women. Because a lot of men who claim to be feminists, or women who even claim to be feminists, still side with like the way things are right now, because things are better now than they were in like the 60s.
A couple clarifying questions here. You cited to Scandinavian countries.
Yeah.
Would you say that these women who are there's a greater representation of women in the government, are they typically white?
I don't think it matters, but
Why would it not matter?
because I don't think race matters with power, but
gender does.
A lot of Scandinavian countries are predominantly
But so
white.
I'm just curious, why are you saying these countries are better because there's more women in power? Why wouldn't you just make that claim about it's better because of white women?
Because I think even Africa or Somalia would do better with a black woman leader than the leader they have currently.
Okay, so going back to your claim about misandry, can you again explain to me, when you say you're a misandrist, what does that mean?
I believe that women have greater intellectual capabilities than men do. They have a better way to lead, and they are more, and I know a lot of men say women are more emotional. I think they're just more sympathetic and empathetic to groups of people.
Okay, and what are men? So if
As what I've seen from the world, men are more interested in power than they are in the goodness of their country.
Men more interested in power.
And I think women are more interested in making sure that their country is taken care of. And that could be wrong. I'd love for a man to prove me wrong. And some men have proven me wrong in certain countries.